Hello guys, this is Reed back with another video. Today I will be talking about the top 10 games to watch in the 2020-2021 NFL season. Now, I know this season might not happen, but I just want to review, or not review, but just talk about games that will be very crazy if the, season happens. So in week 1, my first great game that I think that will be a great game. I have the Cowboys playing the Rams. This is last year. It's a revenge game. The Rams lost last year, 44 to 21. But you know what? I do think that the Dallas Cowboys had a very great draft. CeeDee Lamb, a new head coach. I think Jason Garrett was their really only stop. I think that Dak Prescott is very talented. Zeke, Cooper, Byron Jones, and then the addition of CeeDee Lamb. I really just think that this will be a very complete game. So this is my rank number 1. So in this game, I'm gonna pick the Cowboys on this one. It's a revenge game. It's gonna be a really good game. I think. Another good game. It's our revenge game, but I think this will be crazy. Seahawks playing the Atlanta Falcons. Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan won MVP in 2016. I believe Russell Wilson hasn't won MVP this year or ever. I think Russell Wilson will win MVP this year. I think that the Seahawks, this will be a very great matchup. Depends what quarterback plays better in this situation. It depends how the receivers are. But you know what? I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. The Falcons on this. No, the Seahawks on this one. You know what? Russell Wilson. He's just a great quarterback. He knows he understands the game of football, and I think that helps him a lot. Yeah. All right. So the next game I will be picking as a good game. I have there's not a lot of good games around here. No, it's the Vikings and the Colts. It isn't a revenge game once again, but this. I think that this is going to be a heck of a game. Some decent quarterbacks, Philip Rivers and Kirk Cousins. It's really once again, it's gonna come down to what quarterback will play better in this situation. I'm gonna go with Indiana on this one. That Stephon Diggs trade is really gonna hurt the Minnesota Vikings' chances of making the playoffs next year. And I think that it's gonna be a crazy game. But best of luck to the Vikings next year. I think they will make the playoffs possibly. My next game is the Rams playing the Eagles. Now, if you don't know, the Eagles beat the Rams 2 years ago, as the Rams were 10-1. No, they were 11-2, right? Yeah, but the Eagles, they played pretty bad. I think that they could have, they had a chance to make 12-4. They lost to teams like the Dolphins, the Lions, and the Falcons. Those teams had losing records. And I think that the Eagles will, get some redemption on, the teams that beat them this last year. So I have the Eagles beating the Rams actually, and in a very close game, maybe a 7-point game is what we're talking most likely. Now in this week, this is crazy. There's only and by the way, I'm only doing 10 games, but my game of the year I have right here is the Ravens playing the Chiefs. Two of the best quarterbacks in the AFC and overall NFL, Lamar Jackson and the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. They have been MVPs the last 2 years, and I think that Lamar Jackson, last year he did very well. I think that he can throw for 40 touchdowns, but you know what? Mahomes, on the other hand, he can throw 50 touchdowns, I feel like. But the difference breaker will be the Ravens are at home, and the Chiefs struggled last year, away games. It's gonna put into effect that the Ravens were a better football team last year up until the playoffs, and that the Ravens are at home. Having a better offensive line, I would say it's like the same offensive line kind of. It's it's a good offense. Both teams have good offensive lines, but I'm gonna go with the Ravens in this one in a close game. You know, when I talk about a good player, I think of someone who throws the ball good, and they know how to play football. All right, my next game I have the Seahawks and the Cowboys game. This one is gonna be packed. It's gonna get a lot of attention, but the Cowboys have to come to Seattle. That's gonna be the difference maker. I think Russell Wilson is a very great quarterback. Seahawks, Cowboys, it could go either way. Seahawks can beat the Cowboys or the Cowboys can beat the Seahawks. Depends what quarterback plays better, and also depends what it kind of depends Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, but you see the thing I feel like the Cowboys stayed healthy last year, but you know what? The Seahawks are just, on the other hand, I think are a better football team, and I'll give the Seahawks a win over the Cowboys. My next game is in week 4. I have it's gonna be a good game, but the Falcons-Packers game, or no, Titans-Steelers. This game is going to be packed with a lot of attention. Derrick Henry, he's so good. But you know what? Pittsburgh is just dominant. I feel like that, getting Big Ben back out of retirement, he's going to play very well next year. I think it will be kind of a redemption game. But, on the other hand, Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and A.J. Brown complete the offense. And I'll give the Titans a win over the Steelers. There's not a lot of good games around here. The Eagles 49ers game, it would be the 49ers, and the Packers would beat Atlanta. Those are my run-ups. My next game I have is the Bills playing Tennessee. This is going to be a crazy game. Josh Allen, Ryan Tannehill, they're in like the elite category of quarterbacks. Josh Allen can throw the ball 80 yards, and Ryan Tannehill, he just makes miracles. He just throws the ball. He throws the ball very well. I like it. I like Ryan Tannehill next year. I think he will be very talented, and I actually have the Titans beating the Bills. The Titans, they just have a great offense. I think, a pretty good defense. And when you put it together, you get the Tennessee Titans, and you get a team that finds ways to win in very ridiculous and weird ways. And yeah, that's what I have to say. This Tennessee team is scary. Is going to be scary next year. And then my final game for this one, the Eagles-Steelers game. This game is going to be packed. I'm just saying. This might be one of the games of the year you want to see because, Big Ben, Carson Wentz, and then on the other hand, they got a first-round receiver, Jalen Reagor. I think he will be very well. I would put him at around 11, 12 touchdowns maybe next year. Like, I would say a 7 to 12 touchdown range. I think Jalen Reagor, I saw him, his highlights, he's very, like, elusive. He knows how to, catch the ball, throw the ball. No, not throw the ball, but he could just, he knows how to catch it. He's one of those fast guys. He ran like a 4.40. But, in this game, I have to go with the Steelers at home, just because they're at home. That's going to put into effect that, the Steelers play very well at home, I feel like. And it's going to beat the Eagles in a very close game. Some say, like, maybe 34 to, say, like, 24 27, something like that. Like a 10 to 3, that point range. All right, my next game, the Chiefs Bills game. This game is gonna be crazy, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs in this one. I think that Mahomes he could win. There's not a big chance of this, but Mahomes can win MVP. He is very capable of that. He has a great offensive line. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins. That's when you put that together, you make the Chiefs. Like I was saying about the Titans earlier. I think that the Chiefs, they could make it to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl maybe 2 year. I think that could happen, but I'm still going to go with the Chiefs on this one, no matter what happens. My next game is Ravens-Eagles. Yes, this will be a very, physical game. Lamar Jackson, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, if not the best. But you know what? I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this one. You know, the Eagles always get big wins against big teams. You know, Packers last year, Bills, the Rams the year before. The Eagles are, I think, a very good football team. They got the Texans the year before. You know, this is a very complete team. They just need to stay healthy, and you know, I think they'll get a win against the Ravens in week 6. I think honorable mentions. I have the Cowboys will beat the Cardinals, and the Bucks will beat the Packers. There's not a lot of good games necessarily in this week category. You know, contender would be the Seahawks and the Cardinals. I'll go with the Cardinals in this one. You know, Kyler Murray, he could get MVP next year. You know, I think that the Cardinals will be a contender next year. Not a contender, but you know, a good team, a solid good team. Yeah. This Seahawks 49ers. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks, and then the Eagles, and then a good game. I would say Rams Dolphins. You know, the Rams team. You know, coming off a Super Bowl hangover for 2 years, but you know, this Rams team, it's a complete team. But losing Todd Gurley will, you know, I just don't, you know. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins in this one, hands down. The Dolphins can be a surprise team next year. You know, the Dolphins are a very complete and good team. You know, they're not a good team. They're not complete really, but you know, they're a team that can go maybe a winning record like 9-7, 10-6 at most. But you know, I would go with the Dolphins on this one. Week 9, the Bills will beat the Seahawks, and the Buccaneers will probably beat the Saints. Game of the week: Steelers Cowboys. These teams are very similar in the way they play. You know, they have good. They start off with good seasons or bad seasons. It depends. Every year it changes for one of these teams, but at the end they just either destroy it or they just fall. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys in this one because they're at home. You know, and then that's a game. This week, I would go with the Cardinals, and then the Patriots beat the Ravens, and then the Rams always do something interesting with the Seahawks, and then game of the week, 49ers Saints. I will probably go with the Saints on this one. I don't think they can lose twice or to the Niners, and yeah, that's gonna. I think Drew Brees he could win MVP also. There's a bunch of candidates for MVP. There's like 10. You can ask like a bunch of different guys in the NFL, and you get like a bunch of answers, you know. But I think the Drew Brees is, you know, a candidate for the MVP race. You know, I don't have anything to say. I would go with the Seahawks and the Bucks in this one. Those are the only really good games. Most of these are obvious. Ravens beat the Titans, you know. Texans beat the Patriots, and the Chiefs beat the Raiders. You know, it's pretty obvious this week. But you know, these are the only two decently good games. Ravens Steelers. This is a good game. I'll go with the Steelers in this one because they're at home. It's gonna, you know. I know Ravens are 1-3. I'm kidding. They go 13-3. If you haven't seen any other of my videos, but you know, that's gonna be a great game. You know, battle of the quarterbacks, battle of the elites. The 2 game of the years are the Seahawks and Eagles. Guess what? Philadelphia will not lose to Seattle again because they're at home and they're pretty dominant at home. And the Bucks will beat the Chiefs. This next week, Ravens, Cowboys, 49ers, Bills, Packers, Eagles, Cardinals, Rams, Falcons, Saints, I believe, Chiefs, Broncos, Titans, and then probably the Dolphins. That's a good game. Week 14, no obvious games. This is a good game. I'm gonna go with the Bills, Ravens, of course. The Rams. That's a pretty good game. No, I'm kidding. That's not a good game. It's obvious. This is a good game. This might be a game of the year. I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this one. You know, this is a very good team. It's a complete team, and you know that's gonna play into effect that. You know, this team could, you know, play out and make the Super Bowl. But yeah, Bills, Titans, the Chiefs probably, or maybe the Saints, and I'll give the Eagles a win, and the Cowboys a win. There's not that many good games in this one. The Eagles, Seahawks, and